Boys, when I say I'm back, I actually mean it. Back-to-back uploads? Who is this guy? Anyway, if you're new around here, my name is Damien, also known as QB. How are y'all doing today? Today I'm going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns and explaining to y'all how much of a good off-season they actually had. But in reality, we're going to come to a conclusion if it's actually enough to compete in the Western Conference at all. As always, if you're new around here, like and subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support across all my platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, all the same username. Saying the Phoenix Suns had a disappointing season last year would be an understatement. After using 80% of their cap space on the three main players, obviously being Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, you'd think this team that they have, or somewhat super team, will at least make it out the first round. Well, better yet, they didn't even win a single game. It just paved the way, saying you can't have three superstars on your team and you expect to win. They had absolutely no one that could give them a spark off the bench. And if they did have a person or two, it would be extremely inconsistent. It's awfully bad when aging Eric Gordon is one of your best scorers off the bench. Having said that as well, the youngest player that showed the most potential, Nassar Little, was actually recently waived by the Suns. It just feels like ever since the 2021 NBA season, the Phoenix Suns have just been in win-now mode, and they're going the completely wrong direction about it. That Suns team 2021 was special, and they were actually going to win a championship, at least what everyone thought they were going to. Until they blew and choked a 2-0 lead against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they went on to win 4 games straight. This is what happens when you piss Giannis off. And we all know what happened during the half of the 2022-23 NBA season. They would trade away 2 of their best role players in Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson and 5 first-round picks for Kevin Durant. Them trading their picks, those 5 picks, they now don't own their picks for the next 6 years. So Phoenix Suns, once y'all go downhill, that is it. There is no, but we'll get some draft capital. No. Unless you try and make a trade to get those back, you have nothing. There's going to be praying that you're going to be drafting next Jokic in the second round during a Taco Bell commercial. In the 2022-23 NBA season, after all that happened, they actually end up losing in the second round against the Phoenix Suns anyways. Yes, Chris Paul was injured. Yes, the team just wasn't really gelling. And also they versed the champions, the Denver Nuggets. They weren't going to be stopped by anyone. They started in the off-season. I'm pretty sure they're pretty fed up with Chris Paul's injuries. They actually went on to acquire Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. Obviously, Bradley Beal's horrific contract. If you guys don't know, Bradley Beal and LeBron James are only 2 players in the NBA currently to have a no-trade clause in the contract. Therefore, Washington trying to move Bradley Beal was a nightmare. Really specific standard rules about it. I'm not going to go too in-depth about the no-trade clause, but pretty much they could only trade him to somewhere that he wanted to go. I guess Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and some few picks was enough, I guess. Second-round picks matter because they have no damn first-round picks. And obviously, once Chris Paul got to the Wizards, they waived him, and he went straight to the Golden State Warriors. But if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you can't tell me you're going into the season expecting a championship. There's just no way in hell. You guys literally did not have a point guard. I'm still a leap Cuzzle. It was actually kind of hilarious in the start of 2023-24 NBA season. Everyone was saying that Bradley Beal should be the point guard. Hell no. There wasn't a single player on the Buns team that I thought that could be a good point guard besides for Devin Booker. Even then, he's a shooting guard, bro. He's a shot creator. He needs to be able to be fed by someone that knows basketball IQ and knows good passing. I ain't no Phoenix Suns hater or Devin Booker hater, but Devin Booker is just not a point guard. I hope y'all can agree with me. Therefore, they'll be 5th in the league for turnovers per game. Just averaging a little bit more over 14 turnovers a game, but it was clear as day that this team needed a point guard ASAP. And sitting just below 500 record towards the trade deadline, you'd think they'll try to get a point guard, right? No, you're wrong. They'll try to work on to get some more small pieces around the 3 big 3 like Royce O'Neal and David Riley, who actually didn't see much of the court at all. But somehow they managed to finish the season a little bit better than 500 and avoid a play in the tournament spot. That'll make them finish the 6th seed and end up going against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. And man, those boys were not ready for prime time. They'll walk into that place and get their ass spanked 4 games in a row, which obviously started the over-fucking rating of Anthony Edwards. That's a talk for another time. I'll get more in depth for it once I can be bothered. But this led to some massive changes come the off-season because they actually had a really good off-season considering what was out there. But first things first, if the team is mediocre, they're going to look at the coach and they're going to fire him straight away. So unfortunately, Frank Vogel got the sack only after 1 season. For the Phoenix Suns, I don't think that coach jumping is the best situation they could do at the moment. But hey, let's say we're going to have a clean slate. Coach is gone. Your assistant coach is gone because obviously the coach mains out the assistants. And obviously, the news broke out that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to fire Mike Budenholzer, and literally 2 days after they fired Frank Vogel, they're going to hire Mike. And obviously, not long after, they assigned all the assistant coaches. I'm not going to name all of them out because I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I'll leave them on screen for you right now. Feel free to pause it. Obviously, there's some more noticeable names like David Freestyle, in there, and a couple other ones which I don't know too much about, so I don't want to speak too much on them. Now, let's get to the players, because they got some beasts in the offseason. I wouldn't say beasts, but some perfect raw players to some help to try help this big three. Let's start with the draft. They drafted 3 rookies. They signed one of them to a contract and the other 2 to a 2-way contract. It would be small forward Ryan Dunn that will receive the main contract, and it'll be Jalen Bridges and Colin Jajewski to 2-way contracts. Then they'll go out and get one of the most underrated point guards in this league, Monte Morris. If you know, you know. And then they'll add to their big man by signing Mason Plumlee as well. Obviously, Plumlee having a bit of a up and down year when it came to the Clippers last season. Started off mainly as a starter, but then once Daniel Tice got his groove on, he was in the rotation more. And it's unfortunate where we see Plumlee's minutes slip a little bit. But let's see if he can prove himself again at the Phoenix Suns. Then they're going to re-sign Bol and Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie is a perfect definition of a role player. He gets in, plays his defense, sits in that corner, slashes a little bit, and that's all you could ask for. And as for Bol, he's really up and down. He was in and out of the rotation earlier in the season and just completely ended up falling out the second half of the season. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him in the upcoming year, but hopefully he gets some minutes. I actually enjoy watching that man play ball. And last, not least, do you know how I mentioned that turnover problem they had earlier? What better way to add the perfect point guard? This is Tyus Jones I'm talking about. As of right now, he has the best assist-to-turnover ratio of all time. This is going to fix that turnover problem, and it's going to fix that point guard problem, because there's no way he doesn't start. We may have to see a $300 million man come off the bench. I'm sorry, Bradley Beal, but you just ain't it this season. I know you're injured, but man, I'll give you some props at least. But having Bradley Beal off your bench, along with that other depth, with Mason Plumlee coming off that bench, or Okogie, I mean, hey, it's not perfect, but I value a lot more than what I would last season. But Tyus Jones is an unbelievable player. If you guys didn't know, when Ja Morant had his big injury back when he was with the Memphis Grizzlies, Tyus Jones had a better record with his team win percentage-wise than what Ja Morant did when he played. That's actually never been done before in the span of 40 games by any bench player as well, or at least in the point guard position. So that's probably a pick-up of the offseason for the Phoenix Suns, the fact that they would get a really solid point guard. He could easily give you 10 assists a game, along with maybe 12 points a game as well. He is solid. Has a great feel for the game and knows how to read defense to perfection, which obviously explains in his numbers. But that's actually going to wrap it up for today's video. I'm not going to put a full input of what I think. I do think they're going to make it past the first round, but I'm not going to speak too much about that until I see how they bowl in the regular season. As always, if you guys like the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate all the love and supports. And yeah, I'm back better than ever. Let's go. Have a good one, boys. Peace.